most simple definition, your ego is your sense of self. It is the you that you observe, the you that you feel that you are. But what I want to talk about today is how our ego tends to get in the way of our life and can cause havoc and cause trouble for us if we do not detach ourselves from our ego at times and really learn to be the observer rather than be the ego. What I mean by this is that, for example, when I was living in victim mentality, so when I was living in a strong victim mentality, it was me, my ego, against the world. I always felt like it was me against the world. I felt like I had the worst luck in the world. I felt alone in the world. The ego is the self saboteur. The ego is oftentimes coming from a place of trauma and pain. And it can cause conflict in our lives when we lead with our ego. When we lead with our ego, we tend to get more defensive. We tend to only see our point of view. We tend to think like a victim, or we tend to go through life really looking out for ourselves. Instead of being a being of love and openness and connecting with others, we tend to be more sociopathic or narcissistic. That doesn't mean that because you lead with your ego, you are a narcissist or a sociopath. No, what I mean is you can come across as that way, or in certain areas of your life, you can be that way. But what I'm trying to do in my personal healing and personal development journey is I'm trying to separate myself from ego and lead more with love and compassion and forgiveness. And what I've found by doing this is that I feel so much freer and so much more liberated. And when I am able to give back, this is a way for me to lead with love and compassion and to share what I'm learning with you is the opposite of ego. I am not doing it because I think I know something and I think that I am better than anyone or anything like that. I am coming from a place of love and I want to share in what I've learned. I want to share anything that I've come to realize that has benefited me and helped me. I want to share that with the world. I am removing myself from ego in the sense of feeling like I know everything or that I'm superior in any way. I know that I am equal to all of you. We are all love, light, and energy. We all come from the same source. And that is what I believe. I believe that we all come from the same source. The ego can get in the way with our personal lives and our personal relationships. And a good example of this is when we fight with our significant other or our friends. And oftentimes we are blinded by the ego and we only see our side. We don't see what the other person is seeing from their angle. And we don't try to relate to them in any way. We literally go in guns a-blazing, and that is the ego. That's the ego, because they are challenging our beliefs or our way of thinking, or they are disagreeing with us in some way, or they are treating us poorly in some way. But instead of seeing, okay, why are they doing what they're doing, or what belief system do they have that's causing them to behave in that way? See, now when you switch your thoughts to the other person rather than your own ego, it is a little bit easier to start relating and understanding the other person, and maybe going into that argument or going into that conversation with your loved one from a place of love and compassion and understanding. And that, my friend, is going to make the world of a difference. You're going to actually get somewhere in that conversation. You will probably get a lot further than if you were to go in with your ego self and only going in with your narrow-minded, straight point of view that the other person might not see, because they might not be open and aware, and they might be stuck in their own ego. But my friend, even if other people are stuck in their ego and you can't control how far along they are in their journey of self-awareness, that's okay. It might be frustrating, but you must lead by example. And if you can go into it like that and explain it to them in such a way, that might open their minds up. And when you lead by example like that, people tend to see the growth in you, and then that makes them also want to change and grow and be more self-aware and lead with love and light. And it's a ripple effect. So I challenge you, as I am doing every day, I am trying to find ways in which I can lead with love, compassion, and light. And I'm trying to use my ego less. Let my ego come up to the surface a little less, right? I want to challenge you to do the same. I want to challenge you to be more self-aware and start to notice when your ego self comes to surface and is causing you trouble. Because ego is good in some aspects, but when it tends to lead our lives, which most of us it does, it isn't good, because we are separating ourselves from others. It's sort of a selfish way to live. Ego can get us in trouble because it can get us stuck in victim mentality. It can get us into arguments. It can get us into a closed mind where we think our views are the only way, and we're not open-minded to different possibilities in life, and that leads to a really limited life. Our ego can cause us road rage. Our ego can cause us arguments and fights with loved ones. Our ego can and will cause havoc in every area of our life if we don't become self-aware and really get it under control and realize that that is just one aspect of us. So again, my challenge to you is to start leading with love, light, and compassion in your heart, and start to detach yourself from your ego. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that this was insightful in some way. Again, if you have anything to share, please comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this type of content, and I'm always here to answer any questions you have. Bye.